and the base is leaving. There was a poll on your network, showing 100% of MAGA supports this war. But who's MAGA? Who's MAGA? Because what I'm hearing from everyone is I'm a three-time Trump voter and I'm not MAGA anymore. I'm not non-MAGA. MAGA, the base is leaving because they don't agree with this conflict and they don't believe that this is what they voted for, and they're correct.
And then you had Dave Smith, a MAGA podcaster, calling Donald Trump on the latest episode a big, dumb, orange animal. Play the clip.
He's a big, dumb, orange animal who's never read a book and is, kind of, I don't know, like a shitty person. And all the conservatives, we're going to get to Michael Knowles in a second, but Michael Knowles included, if we were in a more free environment to say how we actually felt, Michael Knowles would also concede that Donald Trump is a horrible person.
And then hearing from Trump voters like this Trump voter who says he don't care about us anymore. Play this clip.
President Trump, I'm in charge. He doesn't care about us. Somebody asked him about a week ago, what about the American people? And they're struggling right now.
To what extent are Americans' financial situation motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit.
He did not care. I can even watch that. I was angry after that. Like, I voted for you and you don't care about me?
Last year, or this voter saying he screwed us on gas prices, the cost of food. Here, play this clip.
Ay, ¿qué tal? Good.
I don't want to put the I don't want to put that thing that put it on. What about the blood blockade?
This Trump voter said, all right, he got a little bit carried away. He seems that he's more focused on going to wars with Israel against places in the Middle East than focused on the American people. Play this clip.
I voted for Trump too. I'm not saying I disagree with him, but I think he's getting a little bit carried away. He's more concerned about the war over there and killing everybody over here.
Okay.
Remember this clip I showed you recently? This three-time Trump voter calls him
Go.
embarrassed that he would vote for Donald Trump.
But I think if I can open up about
Turn the down.
public that it might help others. I wanted to believe that Trump was the real deal for a long time. Even though I had doubts that I knew enough about his business history to think otherwise. But now I regret my support for him. I should have known better. He's making it plain as
Okay.
he's a
I'm
con
going to let me
man,
have it.
a liar, doesn't keep his promises. He's in office all for himself, and he doesn't even try to hide his corruption anymore. So
Don't you keep that?
unless you get all your I call the right-wing propaganda for profit, misinformation, media industrial complex.
Have you finished what you want to ask you to do?
Hmm?
And he's the most corrupt president
Yes.
we've ever had. I know it's hard.
Have you finished what you want to ask you to do?
Yes.
Commit
What
yourself
is
to
that?
believing in somebody.
And then you have the Project 2025
What was
on
that?
Kevin Roberts bragging that all of the things that they wanted to do in Project 2025 were implemented. Remember when Donald Trump was trying to claim in a campaign and all of the corporate news letting Trump spew the propaganda and be like, oh, I don't know who Project 2025 is. I don't know who Kevin Roberts is. Yeah, we do. Here, watch Kevin Roberts here. Let's play this clip.
Did the president implement Project 2025 in his first year plus of his second term?
Well, thanks for that question, because since 1980, Heritage has been offering presidential transition projects that we will call mandates for leadership. What's known as Project 2025 was done on such a scale that we proposed 1,913 recommendations. 1,055 of these have been implemented. The person who deserves credit for that is one Donald J. Trump. If we played a role through a policy scholarship, through message testing and helping to craft public opinion upstream of electoral politics, that's great. Heritage
a look where Donald Trump is also losing a lot of his support at. I mean, he's losing support amongst his kind of core base, the non-college educated white voters. That was his crew, non-college educated white. He's underwater with non-college educated white. Play this clip.
The group that helped put him in the White House in 2016, and then again in 2024, the group that shifted tremendously from 2012 to 2016 and put him in the White House. We are talking about non-college white voters, and he is sliding right into the water. This is a rut-row moment to quote the great Scooby-Doo. Trump's net approval rating with non-college whites. Look at this. In February 2025, it was plus 32 points. Down it goes. Look at Johnny. Johnny is shocked by this number, and now it is minus 2 points. That is a 34-point shift, and I will note this is an average of polls. This is not just one poll. I've averaged 3 different polls here, 3 big pollsters, and what we see is Donald Trump actually underwater with non-college whites who, of course, put him in the White House. Really, moment? Yes, really, John.
Yeah, again, I have to ask, really, this is a 34-point swing about white voters who didn't go to college, which, again, one of his core groups here. Why? What issues?
Why? I mean, let's talk about the economy. It's the economy, Smarty, when I'm talking with Mr. Berman. Just take a look.
Smarty,
I mean, again, look at this. On the economy, his net approval rating, non-college, you go back to February 2025, he was 26 points above water. Look at this shit. Minus 15 points. 15 points underwater with non-college whites. When it comes to Donald Trump's net approval rating on the economy, that is an over 14-point shift away from the president with a key core group of his. Ruh-roh. What was the war? What about the war? Well, the war ain't helping him because just take a look here. Non-college whites net approval rating of U.S. military action against Iran. Minus 5 points. You think that's low? Come over to this side of the screen. How about Trump on Iran? Minus 13 points. A very unlucky 13 indeed for the president of the United States with a key core group of his. It turns out he's alienated a lot of folks with this war, not just the Pope.
And then also people who didn't vote in the 2024 election, Trump's net negative 50, or play this clip.
Ones that are changing, that are moving, that are different than the last election. You know, you mentioned the Republican base in your intro, then obviously there's the Democratic opposition. But what about those who didn't cast a ballot at all in 2024? Those who didn't show up to vote? Well, they have become absolutely perturbed. I dare say they are pissed off at the President of the United States. Voters who didn't cast a ballot in 2024. Trump's net approval rating. Back in November of 2024, just after the election, look at his net approval rating. It was plus 4 points
Google
for
Gaga
President
baby.
Trump. But look at that. It is full. Yeah.
Imagine Google Gaga baby.
An over 50-point move of the United States among those who have more terms of
He's underwater hawking double digits in these states. I mean, negative 20 here, negative 22 here, negative 20 here. In ruby red states, I might add. Take a look at this right here. MAGA couple reveals why they dumped Trump's movement. It's an article that just came out. A Georgia couple abandoned MAGA after they say they were personally affected by Donald Trump's policies. Duh. He destroyed our lives, they say. Ron was a 55-year-old construction analyst for the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. He told the outlet that he was furloughed amid the administration's haphazard DOGE initiatives. He goes, we voted for Trump, not realizing he was going to slam us as hard as he did. He destroyed my life, which affects my family's life. He goes on to say, I just being content with thinking that he was what we needed, and he was going to drain the swamp in Washington until he got into office this third election, and realizing that I'm dumb as a rock, and I believed everything that I was spoon-fed. And his wife, Chrissy, said, you know, I was a lifelong Republican, just believed I was a conservative, there's no thought behind it. You listen to Fox News, you listen to conservative outlets, and you're spoon-fed this stuff. If you recall, please, when Trump first came onto the scene, he's gonna fix it. He's a businessman. He's gonna help us. But then she realized he destroyed our lives. I'm so damn dumb. How could I fall for this? I'm stupid. But she's telling the outlets. Meanwhile, you have Michael. I could show you tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of posts. I'll just show you this one. Michael leaks. So, if you noticed your car burning through gas fast, it's because the Trump administration has allowed oil companies to use E15 gas. What is that exactly?
When
Instead of your fuel containing 10% ethanol, and now it's 15% ethanol, let me dumb it down for you more. They are watering it down so it burns faster. They lower the price slightly. You have to buy more. I cannot wait until the midterms in the next election. I went from having to fill up my box truck every other day to every day.
Google
The
Gaga
cost of
baby
fuel is
right
hurting my
there.
business drastically, so now I have to do what everyone else is doing, raise my prices, so now you have to pay more at the pump and the register for your everyday goods. I voted for Trump, and I very much regret my decision right now. Or how about the Trump voting lobster farmer on tariffs? The more time that goes by, the worse it is. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to do these tariffs against the world. You have this account right here and said, I voted for Trump twice. I was tired of woke culture and cancel culture invented by the left. I wasn't Trump's biggest fan, but I thought
Bro's
he was
wearing a
the first
dress.
time
I
to
don't know
make
why
life
he's
affordable
wearing a
again,
dress.
which is important to me as Gen Z. I think we can all agree he did not deliver, not even close. Did quite the opposite. And now I'm regretting not choosing woke because my gas is almost $4.30 here in Texas. Eric Spracklin, big MAGA guy. This is not the same man I voted for. I honestly can't even recognize him anymore. I am absolutely disgusted, an absolutely disgusted betrayal. MAGA boomers, please wake up. Trump does not care about you, and you have
Why you
factory
never
closures
finding
like
the
the North
keys right now?
Carolina Goodyear plant as a result of tariffs. And this was in
Bro, they
a
found the
MAGA
key
area,
already.
I might add, as well.
Found like a lot.
Fayetteville, North Carolina, 1,700 jobs lost because of tariffs. You know, it's because of tariffs is when you read between the lines of what's going on. And all Donald Trump cares about with all of this taking place is the reflecting pools and Freedom 250 and this and that. And you know, you've
Good
got
job,
Trump's
Google Gaga
cabinet
baby.
members like Interior Secretary Doug Burgum going on TV and saying things like this. Here, play this clip.
Partisan, but
Hiring? It doesn't have to be overwhelming. There's a better way. Post jobs for free today. We didn't realize our Sleep Number bed was creating pressure points and pain. Your next breakdown could cost thousands.
unless you have endurance.
I will never pay for covered car repairs again.
Endurance covers your car's most expensive repairs.
And your rate stays the same no matter how many claims you file.
I've saved thousands and thousands of dollars. Right now, you can get $300 off any plan, plus a year's elite benefits, a $2,000 value free, all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go online or call 1-855-941-2856 for a free quote.
There are questions from Democrats about where this private funding is coming from, and it's not transparent. Do you think that that should be opened up to the public so that people see where it's coming from?
I think transparency is always a good thing, and of course, I work for the president that I think is the most transparent ever. I mean, there's not a CEO in the country that invites the entire press pool into their board meetings. And, we haven't had a cabinet meeting in the first 6
So you're gonna make the donors to Freedom 250 public?
Well, that's up to the Freedom 250 organization and their arrangements.
You're a
with the
leader
donors.
there, right?
The Freedom 250 organization is run out of the White House, but it's not about the transparency of the donors. Again,
And how utterly ridiculous is that? Or you have Jim Jordan, MAGA sycophant, going on TV and saying this. Play this clip.
So I do think when you step back, that's the big difference here. President Trump, who was as sharp as could be, saying to Joe Biden, but his health is in great condition and his mental acuity is as strong as ever, versus Joe Biden, and they were treated differently because of that. I don't know that makes sense, and again, it's one of the reasons I think it's important we get this information.
Biden this, Biden that. Enough. People are sick and tired of this, and the MAGA movement is crashing. I want to bring on someone named Phil Weiser. I'm sure you know Phil Weiser. He's the Attorney General in Colorado. someone who has held Donald Trump accountable, who has exposed Donald Trump's criminality, grift, fraud, a true fighter for the people. Let me bring in Phil Weiser right now. He's running for governor of Colorado to talk about how you fight against this MAGA mess, this Trump fraud. Let's bring him in. Phil Weiser running for the governorship of Colorado. Great to see you, Phil. All eyes are on Colorado right now after the current governor, Governor Polis, pardoning Tina Peters, which just felt like the ultimate betrayal. And it's, cozying up to Trump, it feels like backing down to these intimidation tactics. And to me, it creates a reward structure for this behavior, to me, which is patently fascist. And when the bully is able to achieve the results through the bullying, the bully doesn't go away. The bully comes back for more and more and more. So now, in my view, Trump's saying, you know what? Colorado's an easy mark. I'm just going to go back and bully that state because they're going to back down. And you've been standing up against Donald Trump. You filed dozens and dozens, 65 plus lawsuits successfully against Donald Trump. So he knows that's not the case, but you're running for governor. Talk to us about it's an odd moment to see this at the governor's level.
Well, this has been a conversation that's been brewing between those who say we should try to accommodate, make nice, and those who say we should stand strong and fight for our principles. 100 years ago, by the way, Colorado elected Governor Billy Adams, who ran on a platform of standing strong against the KKK, which is control of Colorado. We have a governor here, Ralph Carr, who stood strong against internment camps for Japanese Americans. So there's a tradition in Colorado of standing strong for our principles. Like many in our party, I don't understand Governor Polis's action to commute the sentence of Tina Peters. For those who haven't paid attention to the story, she broke the law. She broke her oath of office. She undermined the election equipment at a cost of millions of dollars. I prosecuted her along with the Republican District Attorney Dan Rubenstein. Dan and I did this together because it was about the rule of law. It's about protecting our elections. It's about doing what's right. Those are Colorado values. Those are American values. I'm going to keep standing strong for them. In this race, I'm running against actually who voted for more Trump's cabinet than almost any Democrat in the Senate. And we had this debate where I said, why did you support, for example, Brooke Rollins, an agriculture secretary? And I sued her 4 times. Twice because she tried to withhold SNAP benefits from 600,000 Coloradans who needed that food. One of those was during the shutdown, a cruel effort. Another was actually part of a campaign to get us to relent on Tina Peters. Both times I went to court, both times we won, and I had to ask my opponent at a recent debate, how much more damage would our agriculture secretary have to do to Colorado before you would withdraw your support for her, before you would stand by her? He didn't answer the question. This is a key moment for all Americans. What's the answer to a lawless bullying administration? Is it trying to make money? Is it trying to accommodate? Or is it standing strong for the principles that we believe in? And I believe deeply in the rule of law. In our Constitution, I will never waver from defending it.
What we're seeing out of Washington, D.C., to me is something even beyond corruption. To use the word corruption alone kind of dilutes it and puts it into this, hey, it's politics, it's corrupt, it's the machine, which this is at a level where it has normalized, frankly, a criminal cartel style, RICO enterprise that goes around and starts doing, the 3,700 stock trades in Q1 while the CEOs are there in the White House with him, while the Trump family is making all of this money and on government contracts before our eyes, the crypto money, the quid pro quos, and then seeing how profoundly negatively it's impacting the people. That while the focus is on enriching them, the people are just getting so screwed, and they see him doing reflecting pools at UFC stadiums, and it's like, coming from the perspective of people in Colorado, what the hell is this? This is a moment in American history that we need to fight for what's
Google Gaga baby. Me.
Of the people, by the people, and for the people. Right now, this administration is running a government of billionaires, of big companies, by big companies and billionaires, and for billionaires and big companies. I'll give
1,
you a
2,
couple
3,
examples.
2, 1, run.
We
Do
in
do do
Colorado care
do
about
do do do
easing
do
the
do.
price
Let's
of
go.
transportation.
Do do do
Don't
do do.
appreciate having a
Do do
ticket
let's
master
go
and
there.
Apple
Do do
jack
do
up
do.
our ticket prices.
Do 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 let's
This
go.
administration
Do do
got a
do do.
sweetheart deal with Ticketmaster,
Do do
and
do.
they dropped
Do
the
do do
antitrust
do
case
do do.
for a slap
Do
on the
do
wrist because
do.
this administration pays attention to high-priced lobbyists and who's an in, and they'll cut deals for their friends and they'll punish enemies. My view, I'm only in it for the people. I'm not in it for the big companies, for the out-of-state billionaires. I'm taking Ticketmaster all the way to court along with other state AGs, a bipartisan coalition. We pressed on, we won the case. We're going to work to break up this company to fight for consumers who have been mistreated. And consumers are going to know this. Who's fighting for you and who's cozying up to the big companies? The Trump administration is cozying up to all sorts of companies, giving them all sorts of breaks. Me, I'm fighting for people. I'll stand against anyone who harms the people of Colorado. Just another example, this $1.8 billion insurrectionist slush fund that they say they want to support people like Tina Peters. This is the opposite of what you might call the rule of law or justice and accountability. What they're doing right now, Tina Peters is a convicted criminal. She was condemned widely. She's going to get paid serious money for her crimes. We need to stop this. Congress needs to do something about this. Justice that has been turned on its head to advance injustice, to support the well-off against those of us who are working hard to play by the rules. It's so wrong. It's so
Or allowing people like Tina Peters to do is to way they gaslight it, that they're degeneralized. It's just giving them a cause of action, and then our commission will evaluate the claims, and then we'll go from there. It's like, you know what they have? They have something called a court system, and when you're convicted in a criminal court system for felonies or even misdemeanors, you don't then get to say, you know what? I may have been convicted, but I as the person who gets convicted. We have a system. I was a civil rights litigator before starting this new work, and when you represent people who are wrong, you would file a lawsuit, it would go to federal court, and to a federal judge. The judge could be the gatekeeper on summary judgment. You would see if there are immunities that apply in certain government-related cases. If they get past it, you go to a jury, you convince the jury, they award you money. That's our system. That's our system. There are other countries, Russia, North Korea, they've got different systems. And so fundamentally, what I appreciate about what you do in Colorado, but fundamentally to me the core issue is, are we the United States? And here's our system. Sure, it gets messy sometimes. You know, slower, you know, it's deliberate and but do you want this system or do you want the Russian system? Like, to me, it's that existential right now. It's that existential. Of law and everyone being protected by the Constitution, or you believe in lawlessness and corruption and the wealthy few and the powerful get what they want and the rest get screwed. That's what this is all about. Let me just give you the ICE example because it is very much, like you said, from another country. If you said they're masked agents who are grabbing people off the street and sending them to other countries with no legal process, with no rights to be heard, with no determination about their legal situation, you would say that can't happen in the United States of America. Well, this administration has that very agenda, and we saw it in Minneapolis, the ugly face and the ugly side of what's happening, and people were horrified. We need to channel that horror, that outrage against this administration and get engaged. Everyone can find their candidates. You can find me at philforcolorado.com as someone who stands up for what is truly the American way. You said it so well. It's about making sure we protect everybody. We give everybody due process of law. We stand up for civil rights, and we stand up against powerful companies. That's the American way. If you read the Declaration of Independence, if you read the Constitution, it is a commitment to what I talked about earlier, government of the people, by the people, for the people. This administration is perverting it all. Because
because for them it's only about power. It's only about rewarding people they say are their friends and punishing enemies. In America, it's about equal justice for all. No matter who you are, whatever political party, rich or poor, you've got a right to be treated fairly. This administration is turning those values on its head. You can't let them get away with it.
And I want to geek out with you a little bit, from lawyer to lawyer, because you said something, there. The Constitution is a commitment, and it is also kind of it is a commitment. It is by the people, for the people, and commitments, contracts, don't list every single term, because you can't list every single provision everywhere. So contracts, as you and I know, involve implied covenants of good faith and fair dealing. And this great American experiment heading into 250 years had a lot of implied covenants of good faith and fair dealing in the Constitution. When I teach law, I say, look how short this amendment is. Look at the First Amendment. Look, it's like, these are not long things. They set out commitments. And so when you're a commitment breaker and you say, you know what, I don't want to do that, I think then you get into the zone where you go, oh, got it. So here's how I'm not going to do court systems. I'm going to create a commission on my own, and they're just going to give out the money. And it's like, no, that's not, and it requires, I think, people who think creatively to deal with this iteration of this fascism, because it's coming at us from angles that I don't think the founders even anticipated, or that logical law thinkers or professors or practitioners thought would come at us at this moment. That makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. And when you think about majestic phrases like due process of law, let me tell you what it means. Everyone deserves to be treated fairly. Everyone has a chance to be heard, which means if you're here as an immigrant, the 14th Amendment says you get due process of law, and we need to have an immigration system that is sensible, that's fair, that's humane, and under the law. This is personal for me. I am a first-generation American. My mom was born in a Nazi concentration camp on April 13th, 1945. My grandmother was an amazing woman. She was a hopeful person, and she believed in the United States of America as a country that did treat everybody fairly, that gave everybody
What I'm
freedom
going to
and
say
an opportunity
today.
to succeed. And my family, the difference between my mom, who was born in that concentration camp, and me, I went to law school, I worked for Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the Supreme Court, I worked as an
How does
advisor to
person
President
walk?
Barack Obama in the White House. I'm
I'm
Colorado's
still
Attorney General.
standing.
Colorado's next governor. That's one generation. That's what America's about. It doesn't matter who your parents are. It doesn't matter if you know secret handshakes. It matters, are you willing to work for it? Are you willing to believe in the values of this country? That's the
We
America
only
I
say
know and love.
well,
That's
there's
the
only
America I'm fighting
2
for.
of us.
That's on the ballot. It's on the ballot in this
We
election
always
that's
have to
on the
leave
ballot
it
in
in.
Colorado. Other
Ah.
elections, we, the people, can seize power to govern and preserve this republic. We have a lot of work to do.
Bill, we've got a primary coming up before the generals. I know you're very busy. We've got 7 million subscribers here as well. I know you're on the campaign trail going around the great state of Colorado right now. What's your final message to our audience, and where can people learn more about
Imagine he dies.
Oh,
I'm gonna.
I encourage you to get engaged, to find the type of leadership that you believe in, you can get behind. This is a moment for our republic to have leaders who are fearless, who are fighting for people, who know how to get stuff done. I've been Attorney General now for 8 years. I've taken on Big Pharma, brought back about $1 billion in Colorado with the best framework to address the opioid crisis anywhere in the U.S. I'm fighting Meta in federal court. I'm beating a case of basically almost all the states. It'll be this summer because of how they're harming our kids. I've taken on the Trump administration 65 times and counting, stopping their lawlessness, leading on a number of important cases. You can learn more about me, the work that I've been doing, the work I'm committed to do at
It's better for you to leave.
philcolorado.com. I encourage you to share information from my social media accounts, Phil for Colorado. I encourage you, if you can, donate to our cause. Help us show this great republic what government of the people, by the people, and for the people looks like. We've got a people power campaign. I'm running against someone with a pack with out-of-state billionaires and companies, but I'm doing it the grassroots way. I've got Powered Indivisible behind me. I've got lots of local elected officials, state elected officials, way more than my opponent. because I believe in grassroots politics, not Washington establishment politics. That's how we're going to win. Please join us, philforcolorado.com.
Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser running for the governorship, the great state of Colorado. Incredible state indeed. Great to see you, Phil.
Great joining you. Thanks so much.
No.
Everybody hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Rob Belkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MidasPlus.com.
For over 50 years, Denso has been a pioneering force in the world of robotics. From 4-axis high-speed assembly robots to 5 or 6-axis small industrial robots, and even larger high-payload robots for end-of-line applications. Denso's newest innovation, Cavata Pro, redefines high performance, delivering both high speed and collaborative programming, as well as enhanced safety features and industry-leading flexibility. Cavata Pro, just one part of Denso's legacy of innovation.
Donald Trump has been struggling on inflation basically for well over a year now. It was, of course, what got him reelected back in 2024, the fact that Americans dislike Joe Biden's handling of inflation. But the Iran war has taken it to a whole new historic level. I want you to just take a look here. Okay, Trump set approval on inflation. Pre the Iran war, according to Fox News polling, he was 30 points underwater. Look at this drop over just 3 months' time. 52 points.
I always say when the girls were nice ladies first.
Before Trump ever had a net negative inflation rating of at least 50 points underwater, and now Trump is doing it in the Fox News poll, minus 52, and I've seen it in a number of polls as well, and this decline matches. It has taken Trump from low level to historically low level in just 3 months' time. You rarely see this. Taking out the president, that's a part of it that I just think is incredibly unusual. 20-point drop in 3 months. All right, among whom? Among whom? This is where it gets even more interesting because just take a look here. Groups that shifted on inflation. Okay, Trump set approval on inflation by your 2024 vote. Look at this. Harris voters have stayed pretty confident. They don't like Donald Trump very much at all. They went from minus 92 to minus 94. But look at Trump voters. This is where the decline is coming from. Trump voters have turned on Trump when it comes to inflation. Pre-war, he was at plus 37 points on the net approval rating on inflation. Look at this now. Trump voters, he has a negative net approval rating on inflation among Trump voters. You're talking over 40 points decline in just a few months. That is the power of the Iran war on the American voters. 40-point swing, Trump voters, 3 months.
You save everybody. By myself. Yeah. You better do it, bitch. You better do it this way. Better sit down, don't make no matter me. Better sit down and I'ma show you how it's done so good. You wanna be so okay. Now, how the hell are we going to do this one? To get this done. I think this will be easy.
Over and over and over again, when a Republican goes up against Donald Trump, or Donald Trump really goes up against them, it doesn't end too well for that Republican senator. We saw a few weeks ago with Bill Cassidy getting 25% of the vote, which was the lowest vote share total for any senator of incumbent senator. And now when looking at the margin, again, breaking history, the 28% loss for John Cornyn, the worst for a Republican senator since at least World War II, Kate Bowman. That is how we start in class.
That is.
Why that ball looks like his butt cheek?
Cornyn is kind of you would say like a Bush era Texas Republican. How much has the party shifted from the Bush era, if you will, with Trump coming to this?
Yeah, I mean, look, John Cornyn was
Meow,
first
meow,
elected back in
meow.
2002, and I will just tell you that the George W. Bush era of the Republican Party is simply put, it is dead. It is dead, and this is backstory to it. And Donald Trump, the Republican Party, is very much alive. He is the leader of the Republican Party. I just want you to listen.
My sister's
Everything that you need to know, which is the net payroll rating with the GOP. You have Donald Trump, you have George W. Bush. Before Donald Trump was back in May of 2015, George W. Bush's net payroll rating was plus 58. Donald Trump was 45 under
need to get your butt cheek.
Look at this. This is
Uncle, run.
Donald Trump is now 161 over 100. He dropped by 40 points from plus 58 to
After this is animals.
all over the floor since Donald Trump, of course, first really appeared on the Bull ran for president for the Republican nomination back in 2015, declaring in June of 2015, while George W. Bush, very hot and trot on Donald Trump, and you saw that in George W. Bush. On Tuesday night, with John Cornyn, of course, the Bush era Republicans going down to a historic
开心不傻瓜，看开心果。
One thing you see, the numbers one thing you heard from voters on that actual date, on election day there.
When are they done playing with football?
Cornyn as not being loyal enough, and they were going
You know what, TV though?
how loyal do Republican voters want their elections to be to the president?
Yeah, I think when you see this over 100-point shift towards Donald Trump, I mean, that's just crazy. But then you just ask the Republican voters, what do they want? What do they want from their members of Congress? GOP voters want congressional GOP.
If you are watching this video right now,
Perfect.